Okay, so sometimes I receive messages in dreams, and the dream may not have any significance to me, and it may not make sense to me. But I had this dream last night, and I feel led to share it. Okay, so in this dream, it's like I was at this celebration, and there were a lot of people there. You know, everybody was having fun. It was a family-friendly event. Everybody was having fun, and I remember it was these two brothers, full of life. They were having a great time, and then at some point, one of the little boys started talking about school, and it was like he felt pressured about getting good grades. He felt a lot of pressure about getting good grades, and the next thing you know, he was outside on top of it was like on top of this little ledge, and it happened so quickly. He was on top of the ledge and he jumped from the ledge. And I'm sorry, I should have gave a trigger warning for that. um I do apologize if that triggers anyone, but he jumped from the ledge, and then everybody was screaming and like just in shock. And I ran to the ledge and looked over, and of course and this dream was so vivid, y'all. He was on the ground. I'm sorry, this is graphic, but he was on the ground. There was a lot of blood on the ground. His little brother ran down there, and his little brother was like hitting him, trying to wake him up. And then, the little brother started dragging him, I guess, to wake him up. And then it was like, so that happened. Everybody was, kind of in a frenzy and upset and crying. And then when his brother dragged him away, it was like everybody went back to kind of doing what they were about to do already, you know, like everything just went on. And I'm not really sure who this is for or what this is about, but just be mindful of the type of pressure that you put on your children. I don't have any children, so I don't really know how it goes, but I know I've heard stories of children feeling very pressured, especially about their grades, and taking their own lives because they feel so much pressure. And in this dream, the little boy was so joyful. You would never have known that he was even thinking of doing something like that. And I don't know, just be mindful of the type of pressure that you are putting on your children. Be mindful of their mental state. Talk to them. Ask them how they're feeling about things. Because I feel like a lot of times children's feelings get dismissed as, oh, people think that kids don't really go through anything, or they don't have nothing to be stressed about. They don't got nothing to be worried about. But there are children that, they're children. There's adults that don't know how to handle pressure. So imagine a child that doesn't even know how to process emotions or process stress, process worry. They don't know. And just be mindful of the type of pressure you are putting on your children, and speak to them. Speak to your children about their mental states. Okay, that is the message I'm getting from that dream. Okay, because like this, I don't even, and the dream was so vivid, y'all. The dream was so vivid. Okay, and that's the message that I feel like I have, because yeah, it doesn't have any relevance to me as far as knowing someone that's going through this or anything. So just be mindful. Okay, just be mindful of the things that children go through. Okay. And I'm sending love to anyone who has dealt with, you know, having a child take their take their life or take their lives. I can't even fathom, the pain. But I felt like it was necessary for me to share this dream and share that message, to be mindful of your children, their mindset, their mental state. Be mindful.